Hey guys, and welcome back to another Unfiltered Gamer card game review, and today's game up on the tabletop is Weird Little Elf by Atlas Games. This is a 4 to 12 player party game, takes roughly about 15 minutes to play, and is for ages 8 and up. And in the game Weird Little Elf, you'll be playing as either Santa Claus, an elf, or the imp. And your objective of the Santa or the elf characters is to find the imp, and the imp is to remain hidden as well as possible while following a rule. Santa will ask a question, everyone will answer, and so will you as the imp if you're playing the imp, and then people are going to look around the room to see if anybody is making any signals or tells that could determine that they are in fact the imp, and they can call you out on it. And Santa will go first, and then the player will say, oh, I am the imp or I'm not, based on if Santa chose correctly. And if they're not, they'll have a chance to pick somebody else, and if that person's not the imp, will get the imp card. Otherwise, if you call it the imp, you get the imp card, and your objective is to get imp cards to end the game. It's a very simple, straightforward little game where you're playing as either Santa, an elf, or an imp, and your objective is to gain imp cards while remaining as undetectable as possible. All right, there you go. A little Christmas game coming out a little bit before Christmas. Let's talk about it. The setup for the game Weird Little Elf is actually pretty simple. Now, I'll be playing with a 6-player game, but you can choose between 4 and 12, and in a game like this, more is better, but after 8 players, you need 2 imps, or add 8 players. So I would deal out a number of elf cards equal to the number of players minus 2. One will be Santa, one will be the imp, so in a 6-player game, you're going to have 4 elves. Set aside the rest of the elf cards you won't need up, and then you're going to go ahead and take a card from this imp deck. You'll shuffle the deck first, so that you don't know what cards you're going to give, and deal out 1 here. And these get shuffled up. Once they are now shuffled up, you're then going to deal 1 to each and every player. After each player has gotten one of these cards, except for Santa, everyone will look at these cards and determine if they are the imp, which is the green card, or if they are one of the elves. Santa is going to have this little box get passed to them, and they are going to get to choose to pick either a red or a green card from this box and ask everybody a question. Everything else just gets set aside somewhere, the imp cards as well as this box here, and then the game begins. It's that simple. Deal out your imps, your imp card, or your imps, deal out your elves, and have Santa start with this little box here of question cards. Okay, let's discuss how the rest of the game goes. Okay, so playing the game. You are either the imp or you are an elf. Or if you're playing 8 or more players, there is 2 imps. But the Santa Claus player is going to be the one that starts the game off. The Santa has this box here, but he first is going to do something special. He's going to say, ho, 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 bless my beard, the imp is missing. And then all of the imp and elf characters are going to basically go, look, that elf is acting weird. And they're going to point to somebody who they think is the imp, basically, all right? And that might be because a player might have wiggled their nose, or maybe a player is holding their breath, or staring directly at Santa, or smiling pretty incessantly. And from there, Santa will then choose a question from this box here. He'll take a question from the back and choose to read either the blue or red side. The red is going to be the Christmas side that you play during Christmas time, and the blue side is playing at any point in the year. You can play any point you want. I mean, realistically, you can choose either side. And then Santa is going to read out this question. How would you trap a burglar breaking into your house? And then each player is going to have a chance to answer Santa one at a time. And it just says that moving clockwise, each player must answer, and you cannot repeat an answer that's already been given. So if somebody says, I would give him a great big hug, that next person cannot say, oh, I'm going to give him a hug. It has to be something different, but you can answer pretty much however you'd like otherwise. Meanwhile, though, while everybody's answering Santa's question, the imp has to do whatever the imp has to do. And each imp card, and there's a lot of them, is going to have something funky on it. So I want to find that guy here. I'll just read one of these. You're the imp. Ask a follow-up question to somebody's answer. So somebody might be like, oh, I would kick him in the butt. And then I would be the imp. I'd be like, why would you do that? That seems like a weird thing to do. And you have to do that for every single person. And so you have to be tactical in your decisions as the imp. But yeah, that's basically how it works. Or get up from the table during the round at some point. So After everybody has asked and answered, what's going to end up happening is Santa will then choose a player who they think is the imp. They'll point at that player. And then that player is going to have to reveal whether they are the imp or not. And when they reveal, if they are not the imp, they're an elf, then that player who is chosen will have an opportunity to pick somebody else they believe is the imp. And if they capture the imp player, they get to take the imp's card. And to win the game, you need 3 of these cards. If, however, that elf does not pick the imp, what's going to end up happening is the imp is going to escape and get to keep their own card. Think of imp cards like victory points, and you need 3 of them to win. Santa has an opportunity. The person that Santa chooses that they think is the imp will have an opportunity, provided that they aren't the imp, and so on for the next character. And if everybody is either Santa or the elf revealed, then of course the imp will take their card. And the round will pass. Santa will go clockwise to the next player. You're going to go ahead and discard the question card. You're going to go ahead and discard the imp card, so that way you'll have a new way of sussing out the imp. Take these elf cards back, and then add a new imp card to the deck, and shuffle it up and deal it out once again. Ho, 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 bless my beard, the imp is missing. And once again, they're gonna be like, that elf is acting weird. And they're gonna choose somebody, and Santa will read out his question, what was the best movie you saw this year? And ask each player while the imp is doing something naughty. And then Santa will choose. That player might have to choose. And finally, if no one finds the imp wins. And if somebody does, they get the card. And that's it. That's straight up how you play Weird Little Elf by Atlas Games. Well, let's talk about it. Okay, so what do we have here? This is a party game with a Christmas theme that plays kind of like Big Potato Games Chameleon and Cryptozoic's Spyfall. You're trying to suss out who the traitor amongst you is, and the traitor is basically being asked a question. But in this case, the question isn't really all that important, unless it has something to do with what the elf has to, or the imp has to do, I should say. But typically, the imp is just going to be having to do a unique little twist on whatever it is that they need to do, like rolling your eyes during the round, or picking your nose, or sniffing loudly and looking around suspiciously, nodding your head at every single answer, or do you hear that at some point during the round, or drumming their legs and hands while you answer your question, like, muffins? And so they're doing weird things. And players are trying to determine, based on this little tick that you kind of have, that you're forced to have in the game, which one of us is it? And we all have kind of these little intrinsic, like little things that we do in a board game. So you'd be surprised in this game how not super easy it is to figure out that the person covering their mouth and your hands and saying, oh my gosh, during the round is the imp. You might not know that person might actually just do that on the occasion. And additionally too, what's also kind of unique about this game is Santa always chooses first. Santa will pick out the elf he thinks is the imp. And if that is the imp, Santa just gets the point. And if no one else tries to trip up Santa, then Santa is going to consistently get the imp. So what ends up happening is you'll have one player doing this, one player doing this, another smiling directly at you, and another one coughing every single time somebody asks or answers a question. And so now it's even more difficult to figure out the imp because everybody is pretending to be the imp so that they can get the imp card. And Santa is left a little bit confused. But if too many players do it, then the elf or imp that is pretending to be an elf will sneak away with the victory. So there's this kind of push-pull. There's not going too exaggerate with also not trying to be too overt. It's kind of an interesting little dynamic in this little game here. This is a light party game that is a kind of traitor deduction game. It is a little weird asking the question and the question not being related to really anything in the game other than if the imp has a unique aspect to the question. The question is just you're answering and asking a question. I guess it's a little get to know you type of thing, which is fine. I don't dislike the game over that. But it's like, oh, I'm just asking a question. I wish I could have them do something to kind of mess with their things that they're trying to do. But that'd be my one little qualm. Otherwise, though, this game's really fun. This is a great little family game. This is a game that I would easily play with the family during Christmas. There is enough unique twists and turns in this game that would surprise you while you're playing it, that you'll enjoy it. It's a tiny little box game, and I would imagine it's going to be probably a reasonable price. And if it is so, it's a huge high recommendation because there's a lot of replayability in this game. The fact that you can play it during Christmas or not is up to you, and there are cards that will associate with the, non-holiday season. But for me, this is a Christmas game. I have a lot of games that are based on traders or sussing out who the chameleon is, etc., 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 but not a lot of Christmas-themed games like that. And this one here has its own unique twist too, where that player is being a little sus. But everybody else might be trying to be a little sus too, so that you will pick them as Santa and get the opportunity to have them pick who they think is the real imp. I love trader games, I love deduction games, I love sussing when players are lying, and this literally has all of that. It's a quick game, it's a quick package, it's even quicker than like Resistance or One Night Werewolf. It's really quick per round, and there are a number of rounds that you can play, and you can obviously include more imp cards if you'd like. Now everybody needs to get 5 as opposed to 3, it's really up to you. And with me, personally, with this game like this, 4 players is not, 5 is okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's where it's at. More players is more fun. And then I would just add, I don't know if they have additional little caveats, but I would add, when you're playing with more than 8 players, another player gets a chance to pick. So it'd be like 3 picks as opposed to just 2. And at 8 players or more, you can add 2 imps, which can make the game a lot more exciting, intense, I think. Gosh, yeah. I did not think I was going to like this game, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of like the style of art, and I didn't know what I was getting, really. I knew it was like trying to figure out who the imp was, but once I dug into the rules, I was like, oh, this actually seems like a game I'm going to enjoy. It's the type of thing that's in my wheelhouse. I pretty much own every trader game I get my hands on. And this one fits uniquely in its own kind of position. It's tiny, it's easy to store, it's easy to take literally anywhere. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping this game. I'll be using this mainly during Christmas. It's not gonna be an all the time type of a game, but when you have a big party specifically, and you wanna bring something real quick, or especially for a specific little party, you really can't go wrong with Weird Little Elf. Yeah, I like this game a lot. It's gonna get my small game seal of approval, and if I were you, if you like what I've kind of discussed, that's kind of like, it's one of those games where you either know it's gonna be for you or it's not. And you can let me know in the comments section below, but for me, yeah, it's an easy win. Thank you guys for watching our Unfiltered Gamer card game, party game, Christmas game review for Weird Little Elf. A little surprising game, small package, but big game. And if you're interested in watching more of our videos, I think we did a good job with this one, please do hit that subscribe button, follow the notifications. We do about 2 to 3 videos a week, so it's not too, it's not gonna fill up your feed like I used to when I did like a video every day. I'm an old man dad now, so I gotta set priorities and I can't be playing games all day. But if you're interested, I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and let me know, is this a game that you would pick up? Why or why not? Is this a Christmas themed game that you think would be good for your family? I'm actually very curious to know. And we do have a live stream every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. PST. We had to move it back an hour because baby's schedule is baby's schedule and we cannot fix that. But it is a good fun time, and if you don't or can't watch it, you can watch it on the YouTube channel afterwards in our live section. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I look forward to being the little weird imp in Santa's elf collection and escaping with all the points with you next time.